All right. Thanks a lot for that summary. Mangalam, let's invite Siddharth Pamre of Angel Broking to this discussion. Good morning, Siddharth. So, what's the Nifty strategy? Still persist with buying calls?
Good morning, Lata. Yes, as we track liquidity very closely, especially of stronger hands like FIs. So this seems to be an easy market to buy this market or buy stocks rather than thinking of moving out of longs or creating shorts. So just Mangalam mentioned how liquidity is buoyant and FIs have been buying. So without getting much into Nifty decisions, I think Bank Nifty is clear cut. Showing huge amount of rise in open interest, which is clearly long positions. The components of Bank Nifty, especially heavyweights like ICICI Bank and Axis Bank, are showing a lot of strength, and there's a breakout on charts. So clearly this 24-25% of market is looking good. You're seeing laggards like L&Ts, BHELs of the world adding long positions. You're seeing that IT space doing well. So overall, if you put together these heavyweights, Reliance, ITC, HUL, defensive stocks doing well. So even if you forget about Nifty statistics and see these large cap stocks, it's indicating that this momentum would continue. You may face small resistance around 77.50. There might be a day or two correction because we are heading into a long weekend. So some of the long traders would like to book profit and go. But that should not, change the trend which we are into. So I would suggest you hold on to your long positions and trade with positive bias in this market.
Okay, point taken. Prakash, I wanted to get you in on some of the stocks that have absolutely run away, like cement. They got a lot of positive vibes from our infra ministerial conference yesterday. But will you chase any of the cement stocks now?
Lata, is that for me?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I should have said Prakash Diwan.
Yeah, so, no issue. So, very clearly, while, we've seen the likes of Ultratech and Ambuja and ACC race ahead in this entire re-rating of the sector, there's some very good opportunities in the mid-cap, small-cap side on the cement segment, Lata. So, one of the stocks that comes to my mind is Sanghi. Now this is a company that's had some huge advantages which it has yet to kind of exploit fully, particularly the fact that it has huge limestone mines across 1500 hectares in Gujarat, in Kutch, and it's all surface mines. It doesn't really need to spend much on digging this raw material out. The fact that they're using the sea transportation route, we're using the captive jetty, is also going to be a future advantage. So I think that's a stock that's underrated. It's a nice small sweet company, has a right base for raw material and for clinker both. So you could look at those kind of things. JK Lakshmi is the other one which from a valuation perspective augurs very well. So I think yes, the space is very promising. You will start seeing the mid caps and the small caps in the cement side start revving up now that Ultratech and the biggies of that space already kind of shot up.
Okay. We didn't disturb you even by the market open because it was quite wavered actually, with the Sensex indicating 1/3% higher and the Nifty indicating something like 0.5% to 0.8% lower. Markets not settling down just yet. 66.52, if I'm not mistaken, was where the rupee had closed yesterday. We'll just wait by for the rupee rate and then go on. $58, slightly more expensive. So 6 pies of a risk reaction coming in. So a little bit of risk off there, but it's very, very marginal indeed. The current account deficit was marginally higher than what the street expected. The street was expecting 1.1% of GDP for the third quarter. It's come in at 1.3. That's about $1 billion more than what perhaps people had expected. Not a great deal at all. But yes, there is a little bit of a risk off, if you'll notice, in Asia as well. And therefore, that's perhaps rubbing off. It's really very even trade. And between the Sensex and the Nifty, you are not able to make out how the markets are going to open. We'll maybe persist with more technical questions.
Yes, just keep your eye on one stock. BHEL in pre-opening is suggesting a very big up move. Remember, we've been highlighting a CLSA report where they indicate that there has been an 87% increase in the bids which have opened so far this year. And that could result in order inflows of a 40% higher order inflows for BHEL. So maybe that is rubbing off on the stock because it's currently up nearly 8 to 9% in pre-opening. I'm sure it'll settle. It's not going to trade at these levels, but that could be a stock to watch. But
actually, I wanted to ask Ashwini on that. It's touched its 50-day moving average, hasn't it, Ashwini? Is that how would you look at BHEL at all as technically as a stock?
Come again?
BHEL.
And you are saying that it's at the 50-day moving average.
Isn't it?
Well, if it is, I think that is a rally towards to be sold into.
Okay.
And whenever the markets do decline, chances are BHEL will participate on the downside. Sure, these laggards will now move, Larsen, etc. But I don't think they will make great amount of gains. So even, the worst of stocks, they have pullback rallies. And I would think, BHEL is just going through one of those pullback rallies. So while I heard several capital goods recommendations, I think the best gains will still be in financials.
Okay. Siddharth, let me come to your recommendations. Buy call on Dr. Reddy's. What's been the build-up in the futures and options space?
Yeah, hi Rima. We have seen that how most of the pharma stocks are going through difficult times. Dr. Reddy already has its share a couple of months back, and now we are seeing technically also higher tops, higher bottom formation. And first we were seeing short covering, and now we are finding traces of formation of long positions. Stock has retraced a bit from higher levels. I'm expecting this higher top, higher bottom formation to continue on charts because of fresh formation of long positions seen. We have fundamentally strong buy on this counter at current levels. We have technically generated a 3 months call, and even from a shorter degree perspective, which I'm giving call right now, a target of 342 is quite possible. I would suggest to fix stop loss of 3097 and go long in Dr. Reddy's.
Okay, let me run through your other stocks as well. Airline companies did do well yesterday. You have Jet Airways. Is that a long call?
Surely, Radha. We have seen phenomenal rise in airline stocks in last 6 months or so. And Jet Airways in last couple of months has been retracing those upside move. We have seen correction towards retracement of 61.8% and 50% and has been consolidating, and rightly so, because crude oil price which were falling, which were a reason for it to go up, have been rising. And now what we have seen that despite crude oil price staying at higher levels, and mind you, $40 per barrel is still very good level for an airline company. We have seen formation of long position yesterday, around 10% rise in open interest, and stock after consolidation has been going up. So I have an aggressive target price looking at the current price. 606 is what I'm expecting. Fix a stop of 521 and go long in Jet Airways.
Prakash, brokerage companies did very well yesterday. So Edelweiss, JM Financial, Geojit, BNP, on the back of improved market sentiment in hopes that at least the revenue profile of these companies will improve on higher inflows. Is it too early to bet on brokerage companies?
No, I guess it's kind of time, and it's overdue. The fact that the participation levels from domestic investors is likely to increase, and what's happened is the cut in savings rate is also something that incrementally pushes people to buy products other than the fixed income set of instruments that are available. And there's a lot of intermediation that's possible when there's an allocation shift across the board with such a major change in the interest rate regime. And mind you, the kind of IPO flow that we have, in spite of a weak market, very clearly indicates that if markets were to firm up, you could see a slew of significant, large size IPOs also hit the market. So I think it's good times in the offing for sure, but you'll have to be very selective, make sure that you put money where efficiencies are high and return ratios are intact, because this is a business where companies could bleed very easily, and the profile changes dramatically. So make sure that you choose the good ones. One of the top picks there is, of course, Edelweiss Capital. That's a company that's always been very, very sound and robust in terms of revenue streams. The other thing I wanted to add while we were having the discussion on BHEL, which Lata had alluded to, is there's this whole change in PPAs that is likely to happen with the power ministry setting some very stringent deadlines on power producers as well as power consumers, given the fact that they've set right the coal side, the input side of the business. Now that indicates that the channel checks tell us that BHEL could probably see a huge surge of orders which are replacement orders to a lot of machinery and a lot of equipment which has actually got outdated and hasn't been, up to the capacities that would be now required for this rural electrification drive and, electricity everywhere and anywhere and stuff like that. So BHEL is, I don't know, technically it might sound weak, as Ashwini said, but fundamentally I think it's time for BHEL to see a huge revival in terms of its order flow and realizations both.
Okay. Yesterday we had a company saying that they have signed a PPA with the Telangana Discom for actually 5 rupees per unit. So you're right. I mean, there seems to be some bit of Navbharat Ventures it was. Right. So there seems to be some orders, PPAs coming in and maybe at a decent price. But we will have to see whether it's enough to pull up BHEL, which has been reeling under overcapacity and underutilization. It's time that we perhaps read a little bit of the stocks. The markets are settling in very flat terrain. Still haven't made up their mind about whether it would be green or red, because the Sensex is up 0.2 and the Nifty is down 0.1. The Bank Nifty is flat as flat can get. And Kane alone is higher, as is BHEL as well. We still don't know which way the financials will go. So let's get you some more trading ideas while we still have time. Our bullseye participants, Pankaj Jain, Paras Bhotra and C.A. Rudramurthy are battling it out for the strongest portfolio. Let's hear them out.
First one is buy call Indraprastha Medicare with stop loss at 51.50, target price of 55.75. Second is long call on Balrampur Chini with stop loss at 96.50, target price of 103. Third is long call on DLF Limited with stop loss at 107.50, target of 114. Fourth and final is long call on JK Tyre with stop loss of 82, target price of 87.50 for the day.
First stock for the day is a buy on TVS Motors for a target of 325 with a stop placed at 299. Second stock is a buy on Havells for a target of 315 and a stop loss placed at 294. Third stock for the day again is a buy on India Cements for a target of 90 with a stop placed at 83. And the fourth stock for the day is a buy on LIC Housing Finance for a target of 500 with a stop loss placed at 460.
My first buy call is buy TV18 broadcast for a target of 42 rupees 50 paise with a stop loss of 40 rupees 60 paise. My second buy call for the day is buy Aurobindo Pharma for a target of 780 rupees with a stop loss of 737. My third sell call for the day is sell BHEL in futures for a target of 107 with a stop loss of 114 rupees 20 paise. My fourth and final sell call for the day is sell on Page Industries futures for a target of 10,600 with a stop loss of 11,060.
Okay, for now, the pre-opening has settled absolutely flat. Indigo Remedies should be one stock we'll need to track once it opens up. Pre-opening rates are suggesting a gain of close to about 14%. But Siddharth, coming to one of the other recommendations that you have is on REC.
Yeah, Rima, this is not a stock which has shown you a very great move as of now, despite markets rallying more than 700-800 points from lower levels, Nifty I mean. But what we are seeing is a good amount of consolidation, some formation of long positions. And now with this left out feeling in market to a lot of participants who have not participated in this rally, they would be moving towards mid-cap stocks. REC has good amount of shorts which are standing. It saw some long positions getting created between this 155 to 160 odd zone. I think there is a resistance of around 170, 172 zone. There is a resistance, and I'm anticipating breakout above these levels. I'm not having a very aggressive price target, but I'm expecting 191 in this counter. Fix a small stop loss of 163 and go long over here.
Okay. Well, that still leaves a few minutes before we start trading, and there are two sectors I wanted to ask our technical experts about. Ashwini, let me start with you. You haven't given any bank in your list. You don't play individual banks?
See, banks will give you the depth to enter, but there are several stocks which are looking like the next movers. Obviously, there is rotation in the market, so if you keep doing the same thing every day, that need not work. So for the day, maybe banks could consolidate, something else could pick up. So I'm just looking for that something else which takes on the baton.
You think it could be real estate?
It could be real estate, it could be high beta stocks. Probably, the broader market will now start to catch up even more, because now, people are very comfortable knowing that 69.50, etc. Will not get revisited very soon.
Okay. Prakash, Eros International, Prakash Diwan this time. Eros International has been exceedingly volatile. Its parent company, the Eros PLC, has completed an internal review. What does this mean for the Indian entity?
So in the first place, it does endorse the fact that there was something wrong with the Indian entity that needed to be investigated or reviewed. And that's one of the reasons why we've seen the stock has such divided opinion. My sense is, this is a company that will need a little bit more time to kind of get out of this whole doubtful overhang, and headwinds are not very positive. The US market is much more conscious of corporate governance issues, and that's exactly why it's in a very different kind of a threshold of quality or threshold of expectations. But it's best to say out of the stock, you could probably look at a Shimaru if you really want to ride that huge digitization potential that even Eros is offering through its new offering. But I don't think that's a stock that I would recommend anybody to get in, even if it was available at slightly lower levels than its peak.
Okay. Well, finally, one more stock I wanted to get out of the way before the trading starts. Ashwini, Asian Paints, people could be stuck with positional longs there. What's a positional call in Asian Paints?
See, it's clear that some sort of derating of Asian Paints is happening. So probably it will find support around 820, 830, but definitely it's not something people should remain long in, because it's clearly now underperforming the market.
Okay. Well, Rajat, again, we have still a minute left. Any of the metal stocks at all that still has juice?
Well, I would say that you can still buy Hindalco. Again, the caveat here is that I have already invested and planning to invest even more. My feeling is that Hindalco, if you look at the monthly chart, then you will find that it has actually posted a morning star pattern out on the monthly chart, and that suggests that Hindalco's downside has been capped, and probably this is the beginning of a major uptrend from here. So that low of 58 would not come anytime soon. On the contrary, you would see Hindalco getting into triple digits. Maybe my view a bit biased because I have invested in this stock in the recent downswing. Okay. But technicals suggest that there is definitely going to be a good upswing out there.
All right, there goes the bell. You finished almost at the gong, and the markets are opening as flat can get, actually. Not able to make up their minds. So it's mildly red, 5 points off on the Nifty, still 769596 thereabouts. Very much within eyesight of 7700. It's not a deep cut, it is a flat market which is just trying to catch its breath after that heady run in the last half hour yesterday. Bank Nifty is showing more significant signs or more clear signs of profit taking. It's down 0.25%. Mid caps are still in the green. Now the markets are showing a little more of profit taking. 7691 as I speak with you, 9192 thereabouts. But it's a very reluctant crawling kind of move down. Not moving with any alacrity. No one's rushing in for profit taking. It's more wait and watch and refusal to buy rather than, oh, I spoke too soon. Now it's coming to a 0.2% downtick, 7689 as I speak with you. A 0.2% downtick, 7687 now. The Sensex as well down about 30 points, not a whole lot lower. So let's see. Actually, maybe we want to read what are the stocks that are seeing profit taking. It's Adani Ports, that's down 1.3. Kotak Mahindra Bank down about 1.1. BPCL is down 1%. Asian Paints continues to pull down. That's down 1%. HDFC is seeing a profit taking finally, 0.8 down. Ambuja Cements, ACC, the twins are 0.8 down. Bank of Baroda is down 0.8. So cement and bank, as Ashwini was saying, easy trades no more. Let's look at the next leader. So okay, let me look at the next leader. Kane continues, it's hardly a next leader, but it's up 1%. Lupin is seeing finally some short covering, maybe 0.9. up. Bosch is up 0.8. That was there with our technical experts as a buy. BHEL is up 0.7. Let's see if it can hold. Reliance, Prakash was hinting to us that it needs to break out, but it's showing just about 0.5% in terms of gains today, 1043. Coal India is up about 0.5%. Tata Steel is persisting with more gains, 0.6 up. So materials have not really given up today. ONGC 0.4, 0.5. L&T is up just 0.4 after all those defense announcements. Tata Motors 0.3, Vedanta 0.2, and then come the rest: Tata Powers, Bharti, Maruti. Well, it's actually a 50-50 on the Nifty. About half the stocks are in the green, and the index itself is down 0.25% as I speak, 7686.
And the mid-cap index is absolutely flat as I speak, but the advanced decline ratio is positive. Currently close to about 5 stocks in the green for 4 on the losing side. Indoco Remedies is the big mover today. That's rallied close to about 11% after it gets the establishment inspection report for its plant 1 in Goa. So that's a positive and a relief for the company. So that stock is gaining ground. Defense stocks continue with their up move. So Walchand Nagar too is up 4.5%. It's crossed its 100-day moving average. BEL, BEML are up nearly about 2%. McNally Bharat, which will be holding a meeting on the 22nd of this month to consider restructuring of operations, is in the green. And JMC Projects, where there has been an order win to the tune of 930 crores, is up and about. HFCL, it's a 15 rupee stock, but that's rallied nearly 15%. The company has entered into the defense equipment manufacturing business, so that is keeping the stock excited. Eros International in the green. Sugar as a pocket is active, led by Sri Renuka as well as Bajaj Hindustan. Just Style, the buyback got concluded, so Just Style is also holding up in the green. And Bharat Forge, perhaps it's the defense related news, but Bharat Forge is also active, and Ashok Leyland continues to build on its gains. On the losing side, just keep your eye on Persistent Systems, that after a 10% up move has slipped 5.5% today. The street is concerned about the kind of investments that they will have to make for the IBM partnership, and therefore it will hurt the company's margins in the coming 2 years. So Persistent Systems has seen some amount of profit booking. Other than that, mild cuts seen in a couple of other names like IDBI Bank as well as CIAT. Net, its frontline indices are mildly lower, down 0.2%. Mid-cap index is flat. Anuj, you want to come in the opening?
Yeah. Before that, a lot of block deals in Birla Group stocks. Century Textile has seen a big block deal. It's a 141 crore deal. Mangalam Cement has seen a massive block deal. It's a 14% equity deal which has taken place, and even Aditya Birla Nuvo has seen a big block deal. So a lot of Birla Group stocks have seen some block deal. It will be interesting to see what's happening over there. But word on the market, the Nifty futures, the big premium has sort of vanished as we speak. It's now only about 6 or 7 points. The key would be to watch till 10 a.m. and see what the market does. As I said in the morning, it's a bit of a consensus bull call right now. So maybe the market just wants to give up 50-60 points, maybe as early as today. But the overall trend is still positive. So got to look at expiry with a slightly positive point of view. But at 7,700, I won't be surprised if there's minor resistance, and today you see a bit of a decline. And I'm not surprised that mid caps as of now are outperforming, because right now there's more traction in the mid caps because they haven't gone up as much as some of the frontliners, and the valuation comfort is back at some of the mid caps.
Okay, let me get to our experts. Ashwini, it has given a dip. Good enough for you to buy?
See, it's not a big enough dip right now. What's happened is today's open, coincides with yesterday's high. That often tends to happen when a market is getting ready for some, at least intraday decline. So I would think, if the Bank Nifty gets down to about 15,750 thereabouts, Nifty loses 50 odd points, that will just clean out the froth and make the market ready for the fresh up move. So today I'm expecting a bit of downside to choppy movement.
Okay, and you will buy Bank Nifty around 15,760 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, right now we have short positions. So let's see if we can make some money on the short side.
Okay. Well, Rajat, anything that has come into your radar?
I've just given a buy call on VAIL to my clients, and I would repeat that. It's trading at 113. you put a stop loss below say 109 or 108, wherever you are comfortable, and I have a feeling that BHEL might actually hit 120 or so, you can actually buy into that. And apart from that, at these current levels, maybe with a 25 or 30 point stop loss, you can actually buy Nifty, because Nifty might drift down, but still I have a feeling that 7660 to about 7655, the support area would not be broken, and probably another attempt would be made to move up beyond 7700, and it could post a late rally to 7740 to 7760 kind of area.
Okay, and Prakash, same question to you. Would you buy the current dip of nearly 0.3% in any individual stocks?
I would look to buy somewhere closer to 7,660. If we get a buy signal there, see some kind of a support there, or the down move is getting tired on the downside, perhaps that's an area to buy. Two stocks I like, basically looks okay to me. Start from Cummins, looks okay. Possible target on the upside could be in the vicinity of 871, stop below 849. And the second stock that I like is from the Auto Pack. There's M&M. Looks like it can inch forward from here. Two targets closer to 1255, stop 1222 on M&M.
Okay, Ashwini, I just wanted to ask you if there are, now the market is drifting even lower, it's 1/3% lower. How long will you let your shorts run?
Well, maybe, towards some sort of support, 7640, 7650. See, these are intraday calls. So maybe I'm short right now, 1230. Once the market finds some sort of support, I could get back into long. So today you'll have a two-way style market. So you have to understand what was the position of most people yesterday afternoon. It was long. So chances are a lot of people now stuck on the long side. They will tend to cut their positions, and that will lead to downside in the market. But the longer term trend will reassert. So let's see whether it reasserts at 7640, 50, or maybe even lower, because today the globe is not kind of in a very cheerful mood.
Okay. So your disclosure is you went short at the first trade when the Nifty opened, right? Were you short only on the Nifty?
On the Bank Nifty, we went short.
All right.
Okay. By the way, the mid-cap index has also dipped into the red, so that is one update. And the Nifty too is now down to levels of 76.75. Prakash, Anuj was telling us about a lot of block deals which are taking place in the Birla Group companies, whether it's Century Enka, whether it's Century Textiles, Mangalam Cement, etc. And very recently, we also heard about Kesoram releasing the pledge that it had on a couple of their group companies. Is anything happening in this particular group, and is there a trade therefore?
So it seems like very clearly, Rima, there's a consolidation that's happening within the group. Companies like Century Textile, where cement is a part of the business which really doesn't fit into the overall scheme of things, and you already have the likes of Grasim and Ultratech within the fold. So what's happening is, given the fact that size and economies of scale will matter a lot in this business, given the pressure on margins, the group possibly is consolidating and making sure that non-core businesses, wherever cement is involved, are set aside into a single entity or a similar kind of a group of entities. And I think there is a trade. If you see, this consolidation is going to augur very well for the likes of Century. We've already seen Kesoram react to the positive news, but I think Century is the key beneficiary of this entire restructuring exercise, wherever it leads to. The pedigree impeccable. The moves are only going to be defined in a positive way, favorable way for these companies. There's no value destruction that I see, given the kind of nature of the ownership that is there. So very clearly, Century Textile, the disclaimer is I have a position in this particular name. Would possibly be good even in the near term as well as in the long term for investors who are patient enough.
Your disclosure is on Century Textiles, right, Prakash?
That's right. That's right, Lata.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, pointing out that event as well. Mr. Tulsian had discussed this at length with the removal of the pledge on the Kesoram shares. He was expecting consolidation of the cement units in particular. Thanks as well to Prakash Gaba and to Ashwini and Rajat, though of course we will come back to Ashwini and Rajat yet again. We have another guest joining us now, Rakesh Arora of Macquarie Capital Securities.